What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Just wanted to do a quick intro. We were gone for a little bit, but we're going to start making some more content now. The first video you guys are going to see is going to be this one, and it's going to be us doing a 3-liter swap on my old car, which is now my homie Brad's car. Moving forward, we're going to be trying to do as much content as we possibly can. We got some cool stuff on the way. One of the things is going to be my car, building the engine, stuff like that, as well as Cason's car. And between myself, Kason, and RJ, and some of our other Slip Club boys, we got a few cool projects on the go. So welcome back to the channel, and hopefully you'll be seeing some more weekly, monthly videos from us. It's going to be a combination of everything. It's going to be some videos of just raw driving, some videos are going to be more of like a build style video, and some of it's going to be probably just us drinking barley waters and making bad decisions. So enjoy the ride with us, and there's really no plan. It's just going to be content. All right, so here it is. She's almost out. Wasn't too bad. This motor has never actually been out of this car before. I mean, obviously it had no reason to be because it ran well and this car was stock. So that's pretty cool. But she's pretty much ready to come out. And I'm pretty stoked to see the carnage on the side of the block. All right, so it's the next day. We were out late last night. Got home around like 1:32. Today we're just stripping everything off the old engine. So we got the pressure plate, the clutch, flywheel. On the Beamers, you got to convert it to a single mass because they come with a dual mass from factory. Brad's got some new headers going on this thing, the header studs. So what we're doing is just pulling everything off the old motor that we need for the new motor, and then we can start installing all that stuff on the new motor. This is like a low kilometer engine from Texas, so everything so far looks pretty good on it, but we'll see once we start digging into it. Let me just show you guys the chaos here on the side of this block now that the headers are out of the way. Alright, so a quick update on the engine. Clutch, pressure plate, flywheel is installed. We're sifting through the wiring right now, grabbing things that don't need to be on this anymore, taking things that we need from the other engine still. Brad's got his new headers on this bad boy. Looking good.
The active auto work baller Johnnies.
Yeah, these are some baller Johnnies. Anyways, these are on. We're gonna make an exhaust for Brad. We're obviously gonna put a resonator on it so this car doesn't sound stupid. And this thing's almost ready to go in the engine bay. All right, guys, so we got the engine in the car. Everything's wired up, looking real clean. Redid a bunch of stuff just to make it easier for maintenance or any of that kind of stuff on track side. So she's buttoned up. Obviously you can see rad, all that stuff on the front end, the front crash bar, that's all off right now. We don't have a belt on it or anything. It's still got the clutch fan because it was initially an automatic car. But all we're gonna do right now is we've pulled the fuse for the fuel pump, and we're just gonna crank it. It's got oil in it. We wanna build some oil pressure, check that it cranks, and then if that's all good, then we're gonna actually fire it and see where she goes. Got Brad's new headers on here. It's just open header right now, so this thing's gonna be stupid loud. But we just wanna fire everything up, make sure everything's gravy, and then if it is, we can throw in the front end, dial everything in, and after that, we'll be installing the FDF Angle kit, and then we will definitely be doing some donies. Sick, not bad.
Ready.
Yeah, let's do it. Trial by fire. All right, guys, this is the moment of truth. We're gonna crank it. No fuel pump right now. Let's see what she does.
All right, here we go.
Sick. That's a good sign, baby. All right, dope. Now we'll add fuel and see if we get some noise. All right, guys, moment of truth. We've got fuel pressure now, so we're gonna crank this up and see if it fires. Give her, Kason.
Yes,
Oh, baby.
it's EWS.
Jeez. The man who owns the car came just in time. Let's see that smile, Bradley.
That's crazy,
Jeez,
dude.
look at this
You guys
guy.
are
He's
amazing,
fired
man.
up.
This thing's gonna be sick.
Oh yeah.
Sick. All right, guys, so last night we fired this thing up. Everything's gravy with the swap, and today we're working on the FDF install. So I've got the passenger side here done already, and I'm gonna go over everything on the driver's side step by step so you guys can see everything involved in properly installing the FDF kit on an E46 chassis. But I'll just quickly show you what's going on over here. So to fit the FDF top hat, you do have to do a bit of cutting to clearance it, just because of the shape. This is for the driver's side, but you can see this shape here and this shape here. That's the reason why you need to cut, it's just to clearance that shape. So all I like to do is take a grinder and I do like a little slit, and I'll just check the range of motion, because these are slotted holes in here where the nuts are. So I'll just check what the range of motion is left to right, and then I'll make a slice so that this can rotate in the top hat. So that's what I've done here, and I've bowed it out, and then I just take a patch and I tack it in, grind it smooth, and what it ends up looking like is like this on my car. Now I've obviously reinforced my strut tower too, that's what all this stitch welding is. But you can see here where I've cut, sliced, pushed it out, and then patched it back up. And that allows this to be properly seated in the shock tower. Other than that, everything else is pretty straightforward. Just bolts into the knuckle, arms attached to the chassis, the steering rack and the subframe. And this is the newer kit, so he's made a few changes. You can see one of the changes he's made is this heim joint style that bolts into the subframe. This is like a clamping bolt or a clamping brace that clamps the heim joint. And on my car, which is the original kit, you can see that it's just a stud that goes through there. Other than that, all he's done is he's taken some material out of the arm itself, and he's like just for weight purposes. But other than that, the kit's pretty much the same. So with that being said, we're gonna step by step show you guys how to do it on the driver's side of the car. So next, I just like to take a hammer inside the strut tower and just push it all out. And essentially you're just hammer and dollying it. You're pushing this surface outwards and this surface up so that it is basically a level plane with this part of the strut tower. And then once your top hat clearances, you can make a piece, weld it all up, grind it down, and they'll never know. All right. So we got it all clearanced. I got the top hat back in here and fitted. And then what I've done is I've gone underneath with it still bolted in, and I marked the center of the hole. I'm talking about this hole where the top of the coilover nut comes through. So I marked center, just drilled a little pilot hole. Now I'm gonna remove the top hat. We're gonna open this hole up so that the top of the shock can fully actuate within this circle. And then in terms of like the cutting and stuff, we're gravy. Then I'll bolt everything up to the knuckle and show you guys how it all gets installed step by step, arm by arm. All right, so we got the top hat back in, strut tower's clearanced, shock's bolted up. I got this hole drilled so that it can actuate within the hole. So down here we started installing this side of the kit. So they give you the spherical bearing that mounts where the chassis bushing mounts. All that happens here is the arm slides into that bearing. And then over here, the new style that FDF came out with, this bracket, it goes through the subframe. It's a tapered bolt style. And then this spherical joint gets clamped in between there. And then now your arm is connected to the chassis. So next we're gonna bolt up the knuckle portion, and that's what's gonna thread into this end. And then all three of your suspension pickup points to the chassis are connected. Let me get a thumbs up. All right, so now we have the knuckle component that we're gonna attach. These are directional, so what you gotta make sure is that the longer tail end that curves this way to the right when you're holding it upright, that's gonna go in the back. This stud pops right through the knuckle. You got another bolt, this guy right here, gold bolt. That's gonna go right through here, with the nut on the back side, and that's what secures this to your knuckle. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now, and then we're gonna thread in the outer tie rod to this piece, and then we're gonna thread in the control arm to this guy. All right. So we got everything back together. Hood pins installed for Bradley. because you know all these E46s, the hood latch always gets worn out, and then it just gets to the point where you're struggling to get your hood off. So we took those off. Always remember, Randy, I am the liquor. Everything's back together, front end's buttoned up. We're leaving the headlights out as well as the fenders, because with the new FDF kit, with the stock fenders, the Angle kit just eats it. We gotta load this thing on a trailer and definitely do some donuts. So we're gonna let Brad sort out whether he gets over fenders or whether we modify his OEM ones to clear the Angle kit. But other than that, everything's gravy. We've already fired it up, obviously, as you guys have seen, but now we're gonna fire it up with like coolant, power steering, make sure everything bleeds properly, and that's it. Just gravy. 3-liter swap done. It was easy. Stoked on that. Brad's got a little more jam now, and he's got some headers on here now too. Right now it's open header too, so it's gonna be stupid loud. But yeah, I'm pumped on this.